What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Becoming an Actor, the podcast. And today I'm joined by the incredibly successful and talented and beautiful Leandie.
Wow, what an intro.
Welcome.
Thanks, Anna. Why do you sound successful? Like, how do you know that?
We're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about it. I wanna start off first of all because that is mark of success. If you've started something and you finished it, you just released a new book.
Yes.
This year.
Yes.
Just quickly tell us about that. What's it all about?
It's called My Life Hacks, and like the straplines, you are #blessed.
Okay.
Because a lot of my talks, I help and hopefully inspire people to just step into their own magic.
Okay.
And that's the thing that actors also need to realize, because we're constantly comparing ourselves to other people.
Yeah.
I need to be thin like that one, or I need to look like that one, or I need to talk like that one to be successful.
Yeah.
But you should actually just be yourself, because you're already blessed. That's why you were made. There's absolutely no one like you in a world of 8 billion people, right?
Yeah.
Surely there should be a reason for that. So if you're just going to tap into your own magic, you will always win at the game. But if you're going to continue trying to be like someone else, you will always be second.
Yeah.
Because you will never be a front runner. You will never feel comfortable. You never look authentic. But the moment you step into your own truth, no one can keep something from you that was meant for you.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's what it's basically about.
That's one thing that I've learned from you, and I've really been inspired by it throughout my career. I mean, don't know if you remember, we met when I was just starting out. I was 19 at Binnenlander.
Yes.
You also started over there.
You were working at Tonic.
Yeah.
Tonic.
We'll share a photo of that. Not the best time in my life, but we
Lime
made it
green,
through.
can I just say lime green's no one's color, but you pulled it off very nicely
thank you
with
very
your
much.
blush fell.
Stop
What's
it,
that? Dark skin. What do we
This
say?
podcast is actually about acting. It's not just us talking. But one thing you've always been a firm believer in is like visualization, positive affirmations, and really believing in that, which eventually leads to you probably, gaining success.
Yes.
Would you attribute a lot of what you've done in your life to that, and just explain to people like what that actually means is sort of believing in something, visualizing it, manifesting it, whatever that is.
I'm so glad you brought that up. And I just had a talk this morning again in front of like an older crowd.
Yeah.
I've never done it in front. It's usually young ladies and their moms, and it was all tannies and ooms. And I'm like, oh shit, I don't know if I'm going to bore them. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
This is new age cuck, what are they going to say? And it is so surprising, the feedback when they came back, because it's actually such a biblical thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter really what you believe in. I believe in Jesus Christ, but I mean, it's whatever higher power you have. That's the one thing across all religions, is that whatever you give out, you get back.
You get back.
And for every action, there's a reaction. Whatever you say, you attract. Because the universe is impersonal, right? So if you're going to constantly say negative things or bring yourself down, that's like you're saying to the universe, that's what I want. That's my life. I am. Because the strongest words are,
That's the
I am.
frequency you're giving out.
That's the frequency you're giving out.
Yeah.
But if you're going to change that language, that's what's going to come back.
Yeah.
And the first thing we do is we look in the mirror and we say, I need to shape up, or I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do that. What if we started looking in the mirror and saying, wow, thank you that I can see God. Thank you that I am healthy. Thanks for my hair.
Just gratitude.
Just rather gratitude. And gratitude is manifesting, and manifesting is gratitude. And it all goes with visualization, because if you see yourself, if you dare to see yourself at the happiest you can possibly imagine yourself to be, and you visualize the grandest vision you have for yourself, that's what you're going to start subconsciously walking into. You're going to start attracting circumstances. You're going to start attracting people who are going to help you make that a realization. And why I bring God into it is because we always say, why didn't God make me prettier? Why didn't God give me more opportunities? Or you blame your parents, or you blame your kids, or you blame work, you can't lose weight, you don't have time to exercise. But actually the only problem is you.
Yeah.
And it lies with you, and you are a co-creator of your life.
Wow.
God's waiting to bless you. He's waiting to let the universe conspire to synchronize everything so that you can live your fullest life. You are the one stopping you, because you are being a victim of your circumstances. You're blaming it on other people, on him, on whatever. Where if you can just suck it up and start speaking life over yourself and start making that incremental, practical choices to help God bless you and get you there, he will make sure that you step into it.
Yes.
But in order to do that, you need to know what it is that you want, right? And where it is that you want to be. And that is where visualization and a vision board starts.
Hey, what's up, guys? I hope you're enjoying the podcast. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to let you know that my book, Becoming an Actor, is available on my site right now. It contains all the lessons I've learned, all the mistakes I've made, and everything you need to know to start your journey towards becoming an actor. Check it out. Thanks. Yeah, I've read this thing about the future. Your future is created in the mind first,
100%
manifested, and then you go, you build a career from there. But I remember about 3 years ago, I was caught in that trap of always being mad, like, why didn't I get this role? Why am I not getting the opportunities I've been waiting for? Why is all of these things happening? And I read one book, and that sort of changed my perspective. And you always spoke about like gratitude, and I started in the morning, just write 5 things that I'm grateful for. You know, just
done.
I'm glad I'm awake. I'm glad I've got another day to live.
Simple. Just start with the basics.
And just from that, my whole life started changing. My perspective changed. I became more positive. And I've seen that shift happen in my career as well. Now it's like, wow. Again, I'm like, why is this happening to me? Why am I getting all this?
We kind of feel guilty, right?
Yeah.
And you feel like, when's it going to stop?
but at least it's in a good way where and I'm more grateful for it now. Is that something that you've always had, or is it something that you've had to cultivate?
Oh, wow. No, I am still a recovering people pleaser and perfectionist. So I was also like, oh, no, I need to do better. Why didn't I come first? Why was I second? Why didn't I get this role? Maybe it's because I'm not skinny enough. Why didn't my boyfriend cheat on me? So I was also exactly like that. And then I dated a Buddhist. And my father's a Duamni. So that's actually a very funny because I'm, like I said, I believe in Jesus. And I started dating a Buddhist, and he's English and he's Portuguese. So it was like everything is like different directions. But this man was such an amazing guru and spiritual guide for me, because he actually helped me really think about, why am I a Christian? Why do I believe in the way I believe? And I remember I was so stressed. It was just before I started writing my first book.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't have work as an actor. I went for so many auditions, didn't get it. And he was like, well, I'm going to work. You've got 8 hours. I want you to sit and do something. You can't just sit and moan and be a victim of your circumstances all the time, right? I'm like, okay, I'm going to try, but I'm really nervous. Like, I'm so anxious. I don't know when I'm going to get something. It's like, just before I go, I want to ask you something. Because you Christians say you've got an almighty God that you serve, and he's always there for you. But why is it that I've never seen anyone so stressed than you? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up.
Yeah.
And I felt so ashamed. And just the next day, I walked with him in the mall, and I walked past exclusive books, and it was the shelf full of number one, the book, you know, and it was The Magic. The book's name was The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. She wrote The Secret.
Yeah. That's actually the book I read. I read The Secret.
Oh,
That's the thing that changed my life. Yeah.
Well, I read The Magic. I haven't read The Secret. And I was like, this book is screaming at me, but it's universal. It's weird. What am I going to do?
You need to be open for it. You need
exactly.
To be open for it.
But then the irony of it is, so I bought it because I'm like, I love reading. I've always liked reading sci-fi books, especially. So I'm like, I have to buy this book.
Yeah.
So I opened it, and literally like on the second page, she says this thing about the universal thing in all religions is what you give out, you send back. So immediately I felt safer. And she also said that you must give God a name that you want. But the whole book started with one verse that she got from the Bible.
Oh, wow.
And the irony is that verse was the verse I hated growing up, because it didn't make sense to me. And the verse is Matthew 25 verses 29. In the old Afrikaans translation, it's like, die ryke sal net ryker word en die armes gaan net armer word. So especially those who have will be given more. So much so they will have in abundance. But those who do not have, even what they have will be taken from them. And growing up, I was always like, God, I do not understand this verse. It is very unfair to me. So I'm just going to hope that I'm rich. You know, that is what and then I just ignored it and I turned the page. And now I'm like, oh, now I bought a book that's about this verse, a whole book
and
about this verse.
And you have to read the whole thing as well,
And then I realized that it's about, because if you read the parable that goes with it, it all makes sense now. But it's got nothing to do with money. It's got to do with, what do you have? What has been given to you? Whether it's talents, opportunities, family, friends, people. Are you grateful for that? Are you seeing that? Because the more you can be grateful, the more gratitude you have, the more you will receive to be grateful for.
And it's true.
But the less gratitude you're going to have, the less you're going to do with what you already have. Even that might be taken from you, because you will lose it. You are pushing it away from you.
Sure.
And that's the whole thing about gratitude. And that's the moment my life changed. That's when I started with my gratitude list and everything. And that was in 2012. So it's basically 10,000 hours of gratitude.
So speaking of 2012, right? I watched the movie the other day.
Yeah.
Semi Suit was the first time I'd seen it in my life. And I saw you in the bar there, right? And I know Leandie. Leandie is this massive star. You know, she's got everything together. And then I saw, and it's not like there was nothing wrong with the movie, but I was like, oh wow, yeah, she was in this. This was probably like the start. This was sort of like,
that was like
early days.
Yeah.
When did you actually start? When did your acting career kick off? Because I know you studied something else first. You studied psychology.
BCom industrial psychology. Yes. That's also why I have such a passion for self-help.
And people and psyches
people.
and things,
exactly.
which is a great benefit for acting. But from there, so you finished studying. Where did you start acting then? And why?
And that's a great story. And that's my biggest lesson that I always open my talks with. But I just wanted to say, in Semi Suits, my friend Anel Alexander, right? Yes. She's the lead actress. And I knew her from Getrouwd met Rugby.
Yes.
So she's like, I have to cast you in my movie. I'm sorry, I can't, because I auditioned for the other Dion Lawrence's role. But she's like, you're too young. But I'm going to make you something. I'll make you Macy Betty Bar. Okay. But I can't give you a name. I'm very sorry. Your name's going to be Macy Betty Bar. So thank you for noticing that I was Macy Betty Bar. And then in Sync, she also made me Macy Betty Bar.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's like a thing
Full
she
circle
does.
moment. Yeah.
Yes, because there's never a role in a movie that fits me. But
one
anyway.
day. Yeah.
So I decided to go study industrial psych at UJ because my dad said he doesn't want me to go study drama. It's not secure enough. He says, and you can see that I've got a passion for people. He wants me to use my brain. I'm like, Dad, I also use my brain when I act. Like, how dare you? That is offensive. He's like, man, you understand what I'm saying? I'm like, not really, but I'm going to take it as a push rather than a whatever. And so I'm like, fine, I do love people. I'm going to go study that. Then I was in res. So I had to do the first year's beauty pageant, whatever.
Oh, yes.
So now in school you do that and you always want to win, right? And you look gorgeous, you curl your hair, you try your best. I'm going to win. And remember, I'm a recovering perfectionist. So I was like, I'm going to win this. I'm going to, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to
do it properly.
And that evening, like as I was starting to walk on the stage, something in me shifted. Like I was like, I do not actually give a fuck at the moment, pardon my language. I really just want to wave at my friends there, go have a beer with them afterwards. I'm first year, I don't really actually care. These people don't know me. And I started walking weirdly. I waved at my people, my friends. So it's safe to say I didn't win.
Yeah.
But I won Miss Personality. And the prize that evening was Brumilda van Rensburg's drama course.
Yes.
And she decided at the beginning of the night, we didn't know this. I didn't even know she was going to be a judge. She was the surprise judge.
Wow.
She decided at the beginning of the night, she told the hardcore that she wants to give a prize for the Mr. and Mrs. Personality. So I didn't know all these things. But just because I stepped into, wait for it, my own magic.
Yes.
And I decided to be myself.
Yeah.
And not what people want me and just have fun.
Yeah.
I got this thing and that I started doing. It was 2 kilometers every Saturday from res. So it fit into my schedule, everything. I started doing a course and she's the one that helped me and saw potential to get the first part of Mika in Getrouwd met Rugby.
Yes.
When it was
still a series
in 2008.
Wow.
So that's when I started.
2008.
I was second year student studying.
So, and then so you were on the show, you were still studying at that time as well.
I was still studying and obviously we started getting busy because we were doing season 1, season 2. And then in season 2, I'm like, maybe I should stop. I don't know. I'm like, no, I'm not this person.
Finish. Yeah.
I just remember my dad saying like, you've got to have something to fall back on, right? Because
you've come this far. Like, please just finish it. Yeah.
But then what really shifted me and made me really decide to not give up and just... Even if you have to study in the evenings or whatever, you're going to make both work. Was I was sitting next to the field and Hannah Grobler, she's one of my very good friends. She was sitting next to me and she's like, my friend, you know, I'm really grateful that you're also studying. And I want to tell you, I can see something else in you. Like, you're not just an actress, but I actually want to tell all the actresses that they're not just actresses.
You're more than that.
We sometimes fall in this thing of, I'm an actress.
And that's your identity.
And that's all I am, you know? And that's your identity. And that's why you're so depleted every time you don't get a role or you don't get a part. Because you have absolutely nothing to fall back on.
And that's
or you see yourself as just that.
Your only happiness lies in that.
That's it. Yeah. And it's so fickle, right? And she said, like, I want you to please finish your studies.
Wow.
Because I know that you have so much more to do than just act.
Yeah.
You know what? Go so far to make acting a hobby.
Wow.
Don't ever even see it as a profession. See it as a hobby. Like, I'm a child playing, pretending to do something.
Yeah.
And it will never have
much power over you.
And it will never have that power over you. And that's actually, my friend, when you're going to start getting the roles. Because nothing... You don't smell anything
Yeah.
as badly as a desperate
Desperation.
actress.
Yeah.
And she walks into that audition room,
Yeah.
they smell it.
Yeah.
So make sure you are never in a position where you must say, I'm a desperate actress.
Wow.
And that was like just confirmation from what my dad said with everything. And I was really doing well in my studies, which was showing me that I enjoyed that as well. So I pushed through and I decided, spoke to my lectors. I'm going to tell them I can't be at all the lecturers, but it's not because I'm skipping. I'm doing this as well. Please just be kind to me. And it all worked out in the end very well. But it was hard work.
And then when you finish studying, some people just shoot immediately. They get one role, they become famous, they get a lot of work. How did that journey look for you in the first couple of years? So you finished studying, you did the course, you were getroud met rugby for a bit as well.
Yeah, for like 3-4 years.
3-4 years. Did things immediately happen from there? And sometimes on paper it looks a lot better than it really is. How was it actually for you?
So I'm glad that you're asking that as well, because Brumilda helped me then to get another 2 movie roles for Igolidi movie and Susanna van Bouillon.
Oh, yes.
And which that was in that part. But then after I studied, I did my honors, I started dating Alex.
Okay.
Then it was 2 years of nothing.
Wow.
So now I had to decide, do I go and get registered at the HPCSA and use the years that I studied? But then I have to take 6 months off acting because I have to do my internship at a corporate.
Yeah.
But then I'm going to be out of the game. I just build up this momentum. What am I going to do? I'm like, God, I don't know what to do. What must I do?
Keep going, yeah.
It's like, it's 6 months of my life, right? And if God wants me to be there, already got me into acting, I didn't study it, He will get me there again.
Sure.
I'll just try and go for ad auditions still, just to do something.
Yes.
So I decided to go for the internship. That's actually where I met Alex. But then after that internship, I didn't get a role. Yeah. Year and a half went away. Done with the internship. That's when I was sitting there at home. I started applying for corporate jobs. Went for interview, didn't get the corporate job. I'm like, oh my word, I suck.
What am I going to
like,
do?
Literally. And I was still living in a flat before I moved in with him, just here in Northcliffe. And I was just lying there watching Grey's Anatomy every day. My friend was so worried about me. My dad was paying for my rent.
Yeah.
And one day she was like, you are not this person. Get out of this bed. You are coming to do Pilates with me. Even if that's all you do, take care of your body. Just do something.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for her, Michelle. And then Alex also helped me to get out of the slump. And that's when I started writing the book. Because then he said, I must do something.
Just do something.
So then I had all this anxiety and, the insecurities of becoming an adolescent after studying from a teenager. And no one helps you through that.
Yeah.
And like, I'm just going to dot down everything that I've learned, that I've read, and that I've experienced.
Wow.
And so a book formulated. And that's where my first book kind of came from, because Alex challenged me.
Yes.
And then I started, so I had to type it out still, and then I posted it to like 10, 12 publishers, and 3 came back. And that's when my book started taking flame. By then, I've went for 4 Simlan auditions, 7 Binnenlanders auditions. And just as my book, literally, I heard that it's going to be published, I got a Binnenland role.
Wow.
Ivanka. And that's where I met you, right? When I was playing her. So, but it was like 2 years of really not knowing where my life's going after being on this high, And that's kind of when I started doing the magic and the gratitude. And since then, my life has been perfectly for what it should be.
Yes.
I did not get all the roles that I wanted. I've cried, guys. I've been so close to international stuff.
Yeah.
I can't tell you.
I remember one story you told me the last time I actually saw you, where I still remember that to this day. And I know the pain. And that's why I say, on paper, things look amazing. You see a CV, you just see this list of credits, and there's just a year, the date of, or the year, 2012 or whatever. You don't see the 12 months in that year.
That wasn't there.
And it turns out that credit is maybe you shot on that for like a week.
Yes.
But that's credited as 2012. And
exactly.
People think it's massive, but they need to know there's
so many gaps.
Even if you are as successful as you are, and you are,
Thank you.
You've done so many amazing things. You've built this amazing career and platform. Like, you have been successful, but people need to know, as just an actress, there's been gaps in between and things that don't work out and all of that. No?
Especially the last 2 years. The last time I acted in Afrikaans thing was Klein Karoo, and we shot that 2020.
Wow. Yeah.
Which I was lucky to actually do in COVID, because it was been a very hard year. So obviously, and then I luckily got my first international project last year. It was an ad in November.
That looked amazing. Yeah.
Thank you. It was so incredible. But that was the only thing I shot last year.
Sure.
So literally, like, it's just like,
and that happens as well, right?
It happens.
Other people I've spoken to as well, everyone can attest to the fact that there's so much off time, right? And that's why I really wanted you on the podcast as well, because I've always been like looking for side hustle, other things I could do. I've done video production. I've worked a whole bunch of other jobs while like seeming in the peak of my career, but I've been doing other things, right?
Like a Harry.
Yeah, all that stuff.
No, you've been all over the show.
And you know that as well, because you've always seemed like there's always something else going on. And I spoke about like, it's not always the thing you're super passionate about. Like you'd much rather be on set.
Yes.
But sometimes you have to do the things you need to do the things that you want to do. And I want you to talk about like things like that, like side hustles, and you build this brand, you become sort of famous, people know you, and leveraging that into a business or whatever it could be. I mean, how did you start out with it? Is it something that naturally happened, or did you sit down and think, I might have to do something else as well just to supplement this?
That's so nicely stated, the question. So I think what I'm most grateful for that led to me being able to hustle is my role in Binnenlanders. Because once I played Ivanka, it was really an up for me in terms of publicity.
Yeah.
And it's so funny as Afrikaans, industry, it's kind of like people don't see you as an actor. I mean, before Binnenlanders, I've done like 12 movies, but they didn't know who I am. But now that I'm in a soap,
now all of a sudden,
kyk hierdie actrice, kyk nou, kyk hoe mooi act sy. Now all of a sudden, I mean,
it is like that.
So
Yeah,
ironic.
yeah.
And so I was more known after that, and it really created a platform for me. But I remember Rolanda Mare was in the soap for long, and she's also one of my mentors in the industry and my most favorite actress in our country. She's so phenomenal.
Same.
And she also gave me amazing advice. She said, while you're at a soap, buy a house. Doesn't matter how much the house is worth.
Just
buy
get something.
a house.
Yeah.
Use that payslip, buy a house. You'll figure it out later when you start freelancing again. But don't be scared to go freelance again.
Yeah.
Don't stay in this game for too long. Because people love that, right?
Yeah.
They love the security of acting. And so luckily, after a year and a half, I got married and we decided we want to do a movie together.
Yeah.
And that gave me the guts to just go to the producer and say, I just want to take a gap from a soap. I just want to take a gap. I really want to do this
Don't
project.
want to leave, but just need some time off.
And then I also, as I did that, I got an offer for Jagveld. So I did that. And so 6 months went away. I'm like, oh, I haven't told them that I can come back to the soap. And I was just, without me even noticing it,
You'd created a different life.
Freelancing, but I started realizing I had followers, right? And I had stuff to do. And so people started asking me for talks, like I must come to the school to be an MC or that. So I started realizing there's really a lot of stuff in that. And they asked for my book. Where's my book that I've written? I almost kind of forgot about the book. And then I kind of put all these shows together myself, but it was here and there. And then a manager saw me at Artklop, Louis van Wyk, and he's like, Pop, can I jou help?
Let's do this thing properly.
You need a manager. Let me help you because I see you've got something.
Yeah.
And he put up this whole tour for me with my book.
Yeah.
Literally.
But I remember seeing that and just think, this is incredible. This is the proper nationwide tour happening.
I can't take credit for it, but it was Louis. And we literally had a bus and I was on tour for, I felt like a sangeres, but I was on tour for 3 months. I did 60 shows.
Wow.
In 3 months. And I sold my books afterwards. I ordered my books and I sold it. And as you start making money in different ways, but also you start influencing people's lives in different ways, you start realizing, oh, I'm more than just an actor. Because being an actor on film or TV, you don't get that immediate gratification like in theater or like a talk when I'm on stage. So that was kind of missing for me, that I realized it's something I love and thrive on, but I didn't know. And so I started realizing I studied it, but I also love it, and I might have a gift for talking in front of people, just helping them realizing their vision, or who they want to be. But then that led to, okay, but what's next? Because it's kind of like an addiction. Like, what's next? Because now my tour's done and I'm depleted. I was like in a hospital after that. I was so stressed. I ended with my biggest show at Marcelius Theatre and Emperor's, and I got like this rash the next day. Immediately the next day, it's as if my body knew.
The come down.
Done.
Yeah.
And I had to like go on antibiotics and stuff. So then I realized that it's time to just rephrase. What do I want to do? So I helped my husband with his Liefde Wen campaign, and I started seeing, oh, it's so cool that he can sell stuff. And I'm like, but I'm also passionate about clothes. I also want to sell things. It's nice. And I love clothes, and I found all my mom's old patterns, because by then my mom died, she passed, and we were packing away her stuff. I'm like, I love this dress. Oh, I love this dress. Oh, this pattern is so cool. Why don't we get this in the shops anymore? So his mom started helping me make these clothes. And then people started asking me, where do I get these clothes? And I was like, but I make them, so I'm going to sell them. So we started the brand label Skoonma. So the one thing led to the other, but then that I soon realized I shouldn't manage people. So I like selling and marketing, and give me an idea and I'll implement and run with it, darling. But I do not want to be stuck with the semantics and the admin and the finance. And that's my biggest lesson in one of the hustles that I've done, is to have the right partner that knows finance. Money. That knows finance, how it works, what to do, all that stuff. Otherwise, and to not be scared to pay someone even to do that. Even if you have to put some money down in the beginning just for that. Figure out how to do the other stuff yourself.
They're going to save you money and make you more money.
Exactly. Goedkoop koop is duur koop. So all the lessons that I had through that, I initially decided when going through a divorce that I want to sell Skoonma. I don't want to, it was also connected to him.
Yeah, you just wanted to move on.
And I just wanted to move on next. But then I was addicted again but I liked it. And I saw that I've got this brand. And but it's not just about a brand I have to give something to them. I really love clothes. I love things. And I started helping smaller businesses how to do this, because they saw it was possible. So I started collabing like with the L bag, with Tron and Tron, and with the L hat with Arne. So I love helping smaller businesses and doing something. But then my sister-in-law was like, she heard over the radio, Jacaranda, one day, there was 170,000 brides in 2017 in South Africa. She's like, where do they get gifts for all of these brides and all the bridesmaids? Because multiply that with 4 and with 4 groomsmen. And she's like, there's no net florist. You're not going to send them a net florist bouquet or whatever, but what are we going to do? And that's how To Be Gift Boxes, our business that we have now, developed. And she was like, you are very good at business. Sister, she said, please come in this with me if you want. I know you also like gifts and stuff. And I'm like, I'm in. I'm so in. Let's do this. And we had a different partner also, but we bought her out initially just to be us two. And it's now 3 years. And it's amazing. We moved into a warehouse for the first time. We worked from her garage till last year, April. COVID helped us because no one could see their loved ones, so they sent gifts through us.
Lots of boxes.
So that was an amazing blessing. So we had to adapt to that. Obviously, we could only send essential stuff, but you drive to Clicks, you buy essential stuff. You use that cash back and you buy Clicks. And you put it in boxes and you send it. You have to adapt, right? Sorry, I'm talking a lot now about it, but I'm almost done. Just so the people know. And that's where we are now. So we moved into a warehouse, and now we have to move again to a bigger space. So
I was wondering about that. I saw you guys are the offices are up for rent. So you're moving to a bigger space.
Yes, we're moving to a bigger space, and we want to help the people to move a month earlier. That's why I advertised, so we don't also lose a month's rent. And you never know. Maybe there's someone that needed to see it. But it's been phenomenal, the journey, and just to get a team that suits you, right? But once again, none of this in my life is possible if it wasn't for people helping me. Like literally that saying that you are but tall because you stood on the shoulder of giants. That's it. And it started with Brumilda, and it started with people helping me. My husband that already had a shop or a brand that inspired me to do that. Ex-husband. Need me my money. Bless your boat. So it's like everyone in your life was there for a reason. And that's how you must see it. So you must never see anything that you did as a mistake or a failure, a role you didn't get. That's a hidden blessing. And I've seen that, and surely you've seen that, right? How you didn't get a role, but then something better comes. Just
always. I would say 95% of the time. There's been 5% where I feel like, I don't know where we're going with this. I don't know why this is happening. Maybe it'll come out in like 5 years, but
maybe only then. Yes.
95% of the time it's like, oh, wow. Okay. I'm glad I didn't get that. It always works out in the end. Unless you sort of messed up because you didn't show up or whatever it may be.
But then it's a lesson that you needed to learn as well. And that's the thing with gratitude and envisioning. You have to choose constantly that life is happening for you. And it's hard sometimes because something shit's happening now. I mean, if your purse gets stolen, like, why is that happening for you? But you never know because that might be an opportunity for you to envision it actually being returned to you, and it happens, and then your faith get restored. Or you get a new purse, or you get a new salary, something good will, but you have to
believe it.
You have to believe it. You have to listen. You have to like put it out there.
Yeah, and stay positive.
With sparks under it.
So with you being, I mean, it seems at least very successful in this business as well. That's going well. You don't have to rely on your sort of acting jobs to bring in money. Would you step away from acting at all, or is it just supplementing? It's like doing the things you enjoy it still. It's an exciting journey. You're still creating something, which is now a business. But the main passion is still acting, right?
I just want to say, we don't take salaries yet. We push it into
back into the business.
We've only, my sister-in-law's now been there permanently, where she can take a salary since last year, September.
Okay.
So now and then, obviously, I will take some money. She will pay out a bonus for us, but I'm not dependent on Tobi's money at all yet. I told her I want that money to go into the business and pay the employees or get someone else. Yeah. So I've kind of bullshitting my mind also to still work and as if I don't have that.
That should be.
As if one day I will, because I don't need to do that now. So rather use the money to grow the business. Wow. So just on that, but for me, I never want to choose, right? I don't want to choose now that I'm just an actor, I'm just a business. Yeah. I am a plan A, B, C, D person. So sometimes my business, like the past 2 years, has taken the front row and it's been amazing. It was needed. Hopefully now I will do some acting again. And then my business, someone else will need to step in, and we'll learn a lesson there, and we will train someone to do that for when I can be busy again, right? So I never want to say I'm just this or I'm just that. And Hannah also says that always to actors who get kids and they feel like, oh, now I'm going to be irrelevant. I'm not. It's like, it's just a phase. You're not an actress anymore. Yeah. And you're not a mother or an actress. It's phases. You can now be a mother, then you're a bit this, then you stay at home a bit, then you act a bit, then you do both. Life it's not static, it's ever changing, and you must just adapt to it and be in the moment, because you must know that it's there, what it must be. You must choose it. That's it.
I think what's important for people to remember is that your identity can be fluid, as in you can flow into so many different things, and I've always been like that, and I felt guilty about it because I love acting. That's all I really want to do. I know that because I can spend 2-3 days shooting every scene of the day, and I can be happy and full of energy. And as soon as I sit in front of the laptop, I can look at emails for 5 minutes and I'm tired, right? I know my passion and my burning desire is for acting. But I've always loved other stuff as well. I love property. I love like making videos. I love learning about other stuff. Sometimes I love just history. And I felt like people are going to judge me because I'm not this thespian, you know, I'm not this one-dimensional, like this is my life. And now looking back, I'm so grateful for it, because if that was all I cared about, if that's the only place where I could find joy and happiness, I would have been severely depressed. Yes. And I've went through those phases as well, where you're like, but this is all I want to do. And then I realized, well, you know what, actually, this is also fun, and it's okay to do that. And it's okay to find yourself in new positions, starting a new business and all of that. And I think especially for young actors, and this is like I told you earlier, this is not about giving you acting advice in terms of technique or that. It's about navigating the industry, but also surviving. Because I'm talking to very successful people who are making it, working as actors, but you can hear from everyone's story, like, it's not consistent. Things change. The world changes. Constantly. I feel like I'm moving into a good space age-wise now, but there was like 3 years where I don't look young enough to play a schoolboy, but I don't look old enough to play. And we all at the mercy of that. Like you don't have control over that. So what do you do? What do you have control over? It's just, like you said, your own emotions, your own mind, how you carry yourself. Are you a positive person? Are you trying to sort of manifest good things in your life? And are you proactive? Are you trying to look at...
what do you choose to do with your time?
Exactly. Because sitting at home also doesn't help you. It doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't do anyone any justice.
That's the definition of luck, right? Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Yes. So you create your own luck by always being prepared for whatever it is that needs to find you in that space where you are. Yeah. And that's why, whether I'm now busy with my business for the past 2 years. Maybe I play a role in the next year where I play a CEO.
Yeah.
How much have I learned from actually having a business?
Yes.
So anything in your life that you are doing as an actor, every experience you have, the heartache of losing my mom, the divorce I went through, all the good times I have with my girlfriends, everything that I experience helps me to be a better actor.
Yeah.
So you must always welcome any change or experience in your life as this is teaching me to be a better actor.
Yeah.
This is helping me to be a better actor. And how can I use this off time? One of my previous agents, Janice, he's amazing and he's taught me so much. The one thing I'll never forget, I was so busy in that time in my career and then there was nothing. I was standing in my Corsa. My Corsa was like, the boot was almost gone. I drove into a pole and I was like, I'm so tired of my car. I wish I had a sponsored car. Driving a sponsored car now. You saw it. But I was standing there with him like, I'm so tired of this. I don't get any roles anymore. Now I have nothing to do. It's like, do you remember how busy you were that one time?
Yeah.
And you told me, Jen, I don't know how I'm going to get to everything. I'm like, so you must use this rest. Use this time. Think positive things. Go write down all the stuff you want, like the sponsored car, like this. Go think about that. Go rest now. Take care of your soul and who you are now so that you are ready when that busyness comes in.
Yeah.
Because there's a reason why it's quiet now.
Yeah.
So now I don't see times as quiet anymore. I actually welcome it into my life. And I'm like, what can I do today? Can I listen to a podcast? Can I just lie in the sun and tan and drink a martini?
Yeah.
And what
that's
can
okay as well.
That's okay because in that time I can manifest.
Yeah.
I can lie and envision myself shooting on set or being this business. You are working.
Yeah.
Your mind's working.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes more important than actually doing something, but you're moaning.
Yeah.
So stop working against yourself.
Sure.
Because you can do fitness stuff or you want to lose weight or you can do whatever you want. But if you keep on saying negative things over your body's not going to take on the fitness that you're doing, right?
Yeah. It's just going to block you.
It's just going to block you. You're going to work yourself to death for nothing. You're not going to see results because you're not welcoming it into your life.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love, talking about this sort of positivity and like I said, it's really changed my life as well. And I think there's a big change that happens. People who make it and people who don't make it is you, and not just as actors, in most spheres of life, it really is dependent on your mindset. And because I've seen so many talented actors out there as well. People who are taller than me, they look better than me, they're better built than me. But
come on, there's no one better than you.
I've went to a lot of auditions in my life. And you see that as soon as you get into an audition room, if someone's energy is off, they can give you the best performance ever. But if they just not, you can feel that energy. Yes, you can feel. Sometimes I go in and I'm very overly enthusiastic, and that's
also not good.
Also not a good thing. But as long as you can just control yourself and your emotions and take control and ownership of yourself. Yes.
And being aware of it. I mean, the thing is, once you become aware, it's okay. We are going to be sad. And that's what I want to say to you now. I don't necessarily believe in positivity. I believe in gratitude. Yes. There's a difference between positivity and gratitude. And for me, that's why God says in the Bible, through all circumstances, be thankful.
Yes.
This is my will for you in the Lord Jesus Christ. He doesn't say, be positive, be kind, be happy, be joyful, because he knows it's impossible to always be those things. The only thing you can always be under any circumstance is grateful. Wow. And grateful doesn't mean you're not realistic. Grateful doesn't mean I'm not sad because I lost my mother or I didn't get the job. You have to be realistic. To the contrary, gratitude means I'm really not feeling well now. My heart's so sore. I wish I got this, but I'm so grateful that I have my lover supporting me now, or I have this. That's what gratitude is.
Or that I can still feel.
Where positivity is, I didn't do a good audition, but I'm going to get it. Or no, I'm in debt, but it's fine. It's not that bad. No, you're in debt and it's cuck. It's bad. You need to do something about it. But I'm grateful because I'm aware of it and I know my dad's going to help me out. That's gratitude. So it's a different, you have to be realistic. And that doesn't always go with positivity. But gratitude, there's always space for it.
There's a part in the book where I talk about just auditions and the auditioning process. And a lot of people get so stressed out about auditions and they make it the scary thing. And at the beginning, I was also like unsure. Like your first couple of auditions, you're just feeling it out, right? And you hate it. But I've started to think about it as like, man, this is an opportunity for me to act now. I've been sitting at home for like 2 months waiting for an audition. I've been given an opportunity to go play. I'm grateful for just being able to perform in front of someone.
That's great.
And that makes it so easier for you then because you're not expectant of something. You're just grateful to be able to be in this room. So before every audition now, I'm like, send up a little prayer. And I'm like, you know, Lord, thank you so much that I can just be able to do this today. That I can just say some lines, because that's, if it's really your passion and you enjoy it,
that should be enough, right?
You should enjoy that, yeah. And if something happens from that, amazing.
Yes.
So that's gratitude, right? I want to talk about sort of the last thing, and it's something that I feel you've invested a lot of time into and perfected as well, is like personal branding, right? It's become so much more important now to have an identity, have your social pages, you know, busy posting a lot. I've had a couple of auditions where I need to fill in how many followers I have, all of that kind of thing. It's becoming more prevalent.
I've never done audition. Really? Where they ask that?
Yeah. Like Netflix stuff is like, and I get it as well.
Jeez.
But it's becoming more
prevalent, yeah.
Yeah. What are your tips in terms of that? If you're up and coming actor, what is the thing now? Is it like, do you need to create your own content just or and what do you share as well? Because with you, I'll see like the business stuff, and that helps your platform, helps feed people in there as well. But then it also helps when you've got a new project coming out, a film on box office or whatever to share. So how much time should one invest in it?
This is such a hard question for me. Only because, like I said, I had a spike in followers after Binnenlanders, and then it died down in a while. And now it's really, but with the new algorithms, it's really hard to pick up your, except if something big happened, or like I asked Simone the other day, how does she do? She's like, no, but she's a mom now and she does Reel. She thinks that helped. I don't know. Or like when Lisa Laurie got married to this, now finally more people can see her cool stuff. Like sometimes it's something like that that can help you. But what if you don't have that, right? Because I'm like, I don't want to force myself into doing reels and dances if it's not who I am. I don't want to start creating content now just because I have to. And the thing for me is, and I give all this advice in my book in the last chapter that's on business and marketing, the number one rule for me with social media that I've always done, and it's kind of helped me to just grow steadily, is to be authentic. That's the number one thing. Because if you're going to start doing things that's not you, you have to steal like an artist from other profiles. If you see how people like this or like that, don't copy that just as. Think of, okay, so they like that she gave advice about how to change a diaper. I don't know how to change a diaper. I don't care. But I like doing my hair. And people have asked me, how do I wear my hair? So next time you do it, just do a tutorial on how you do your hair. So you understand, it's like, try and get inspiration from other people and other brands, but always go back to who are you? What is the message that you want to get out there? And the other thing is, like I said, if something is meant for you, no one can take it away from you. No influx of followers are going to get you the job, and no followers that you don't have is going to keep you from the job. I truly believe what is meant for you will not be taken from you if you are taking care of yourself and you are being true to who you are. That stuff will find you. Even if you think that you didn't get it because of the followers, it's most probably not that. Or you shouldn't have gotten that because who wants the pressure of I've just been hired because I've got all that followers? Then you've got another issue to deal with,
then
right?
you're worried about, okay, so I'm actually like, not a great actor.
You become a slave to your followers. You become a slave. Because I was also like, but why does it bother me that my followers not growing? It shouldn't bother me. Because why do I actually want my followers to grow? My sister asked me, I'm like, because I want to make more money. I want to help my business. I want to grow. She's like, but that's what you want. So you actually don't want your followers. You want your business to grow. You want more work. You want more. So envision that. Don't envision more followers because you might get more followers, but then you might get more hate. It might be bad for you. It might be bad for your soul. So don't envision that. Always ask yourself 5 times why you want something, because then after the 5th time you've asked why, you will really know what you actually want. So then you just envision that instead of envisioning, oh, I want million, you know. Or don't just say I want $1 million. Why do you want $1 million? Because I want to do this. Why do you want to do this? Because I want to do this. And then you always get back to the root, and it makes it's so much easier to then know what to do. Because then you actually know there's a game plan. It's one step that I need to get there.
And it's not getting followers. And
because you're a slave to an external factor.
When you go down to it, you realize, oh, I actually do have control over this. I find the reason why. I found as well, like, so with Blood and Water show I'm doing, every time after the show comes out, I'll get like 20,000 followers in a week, right? Which is like at the first time, it was like more than 50% of the followers I already had, or maybe 100%.
That's incredible.
But with that, the following has gone up, but the engagement has stayed pretty much the same. And also what I find is I'll go up 20,000 followers, but because I always post my real stuff, I mean, I don't know if you watch any of my stuff, but
now and then, but I mean, with the algorithms, I don't see people shit coming. I have to go into profiles,
But my content usually is quite weird, and it's not
funny
and it's
real.
not staged. Yeah, it's always real.
It's always real.
I see, like, I'll lose maybe 500-600 followers a day or whatever, and at the beginning it was sort of like, I need to change my content to fit in because I'm losing these people all the time, until I realized, exactly like you said, it's like, that's fine if they leave, because the people who stay are the ones who actually care and invest.
And that will support. And what if 100% of 10,000 followers buy something from you, as opposed to 2% of 200,000?
Yeah.
What do you want? You rather want 100% of 10,000, right? Than
because
you want 2%
loyalty.
of 2. That's what you want. So be glad when people unfollow you, because it's not your brand. Rather
it
keep
still hurts.
on.
It still hurts a little.
Of course, and we're actors. We hate rejection. But and I've really learned that with our business. Because it's not about how does it look, or how many this, or how many. It's how many sales can I convert. That's the only thing. Sure. So in terms for us, because it's not necessarily a sale, but how many lives can I touch? By being real, by being me, not by trying to please them. Then you're fake, then you're a slave, and people smell that, right? They
eventually,
smell
at the beginning you might get away with it, but
but you're gonna lose them.
But then eventually you need to go through so many hoops and do so many things to keep that image going. And
you can't sustain that, and you will die. So my new thing now, literally, and I learned you will die from it, because it will kill you. I mean, look at all these people coming out with mental health issues.
True.
The tennis player Naomi Osaka, right? And she literally even stopped doing what she loved just so she doesn't have to face people who are cruel. So I'm like, go back to yourself. Who are you? What makes you stronger? What gives you joy? And feed that first, because if that's strong, the people will come. The work will come. But don't become a slave of external factors. Because if you're going to put your happiness or your success on that, you will always be disappointed because it's fickle.
I want to say, so obviously this podcast is meant to be just about the acting industry, and we've spoken a lot about wellness and sort of mental health and all of that. There's a chapter in the book as well about it, and why that's important is because this journey can become quite difficult. There's a lot of people around the world, actors, will eventually move to self-harm and things, and go through severe depression and things. And I myself as well, I don't want people to see me on Instagram and think everything's okay. I want people to know, like, cool, I'm doing well now, but like, I've been through a journey as well, and I wouldn't have made it through if I didn't focus more on my mental health, on my physical health, because those things will carry you through when there isn't work, there isn't opportunities, when you feel like, why am I doing this? This is, I'm not going to get through this. If you focus on yourself and you look after yourself, it's going to carry you through the tough times. Because what you're seeing now is two people talking about our great careers and all of the great things we're doing, but there's so much time in between daily, even where you doubt yourself, you struggle. I have days where I'm busy shooting on a show, and then I'll get depressed about work and like get anxious. But I'm actually busy with it. And
I know that.
And that could only change because I took my mental health seriously, and I started focusing on the positives in life, enjoying life, and being grateful for everything. And that's why I wanted Leandie on the show as well. Not just because of her acting and her amazing career, but because I know you're such a firm believer in all of this, and I really wanted someone like you to share that with people. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Before we leave, I want to just move it straight back just to acting. If you could give any advice to young actors, maybe starting out now, or they've done studying and they want to sort of, get into the industry, what advice would you give?
I never know what to say these days, because it's been 12 years, right, since I started. And I also didn't study it, so I knew what then to do. I went and I did a course, and Brumilda had an agency. So the only way you can get auditions is by having an agent. And the only way to get an agent is either you've had to study drama, or you had to prove to them that you're good. Like do an audition or what, I don't know. So I would say, if you don't want to go study it or you can't go study it, go do as many courses as you can. Like Lilia and Jock's course is amazing, I've heard.
I actually did that.
Yes, and Anya did it with, Mila did it with.
Mila, yeah.
So,
Mila is another amazing actress. We
and
started
successful.
there. Yeah, we
That's
started
it.
there, yeah.
So do courses that you can, watch masterclasses, whatever, and then try, like I had to send my book. I wasn't like a proper writer, but I tried. I wrote something and I sent it to so many publications. So do auditions or do something, send emails to so many agents as possible as you can, and just start and try and get in there. And I think film yourself.
Yeah.
And
so you can see, because
film yourself,
you need
you can
to
see what you look like.
And what your face is doing.
And it's okay if you realize, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't act.
Yeah.
You can change your mind at any time in life. Maybe you must direct. Maybe you must write. Or maybe you just really love it. And then you can play pretend at home and go do your corporate job during the day. I mean,
maybe it is just a hobby, you know?
Yeah, be honest with yourself, you know, and don't put all these
That's one of the chapters in the book, just saying,
Don't put all these expectations on you. And you don't have to be famous or a Hollywood star to be good at your job, right? That's what we must realize. You don't have to be a celeb to be good at your job or to actually work in your job. You're actually the only cheerleader you have.
Sure.
Actually, the more of a celeb you are doing your job, the more scrutiny you're going to find and the more doubt you're going to have and the more insecurity you're going to have. So enjoy wherever you are and just do your work and enjoy it. That's it. I mean, tomorrow we die and then what? What's all this cuck about? Then it's just, so just be in the moment and live your life.
People, to end it off. What's all this cock about? Thank you for joining us. We'll see you at the next episode. Thank you very much, Leandie.
Dank je, bless jou.
Dank je.
Dank je.
I love it. Okay.